oracles, we were also clearly above the script, before situating ourselves back under it, much as hikers do when they put their mountain backs on their shoulder after having filled them with what is necessary for their trek. Script, as we all know, can also vary immensely in the techniques they use for their implementation, from meticulous charts to automated robots, and of course not all of them should be written. I mean, formal institutions, and there are lots of non-formal. In addition, I have shown many times that scripts can actually be shifted down into technical artifacts. You all know that. What counts for now is not so much the literary connotation of the word script as the peculiar situation of finding oneself either above or below the same set of instruction. If you think about it 1 minute, you will realize that this is extraordinarily bizarre, even though it's totally common. But it is so ubiquitous doesn't make it less odd. The reason I'm so interested in attracting your attention to this feature is because it's exactly what might be lost if you think sociologically that there exists individuals in an organization conceived as a collective body of some sort. The point for me is that contrary to the mystical sui generis definition given of a superorganism, we are never simultaneously under and above the same script. The deep question raised by so much social theory is just the one that should not be answered and not even raised. How can we simultaneously be the authors and the children of the same overarching society? Ask so many sociologists of the Durkheimian persuasion. The answer is we are never. Never are we simultaneously, but always sequentially, fabricators and fabricated, and we shift position at specific deadlines which are themselves scripted. While being simultaneously authors and children of a body politic is an essential feature of a political existence, representation in one direction, obedience in the other, this is never the case in an organizational mode. We are under or above at different moments, never at the same time, and especially important, never in the same capacity. When we live under the script, we are the one to whom the script delegates instruction to be carried out. This is often called roles by sociologists of the Goffmanian school, except this is a greatly misleading metaphor, since at the deadline, the situation changed completely. And we are suddenly made to be the ones who insert instruction into the script. When we assembled with François to discuss this session, we burned into the timetable that I would speak 45 minutes, but we could have said 60. Now that we are both under the script, it's the timetable that is attributing to me and to him a slot to which I should be faithful, except if, for a sort of great Derridian gesture, I speak for 3 hours without interruption. The theatrical notion of roles, like the literary metaphor of text, both run into the danger of missing exactly the turning point that is the specific feature of organization. We are the role follower at 10:30, but we were the playwright at 10, and we will be it again at 11. We were the speechwriter at 11, and we will become the character in the speech at 11:30. What sort of theater is this? What kind of text is that? You could argue that the difference is tiny between being simultaneously authors and children of some political order and being sequentially scriptwriters and characters written of some organizational injunction. The impression that I'm splitting hair at this point could be all the more right, since in practice I agree we are never completely under nor completely above a script. So there are several reasons why I think it's worthwhile to point to this constant shift between living above and under the script. whatever the metaphor or the concept put to work to follow organization, they remain useless if they don't manage to register this flip-flopping of position distributed in time. As long as the sociological fallacy makes us think that there is some dialectical mystery in being simultaneously authors and children of our own order, we cannot even follow the precise tools that allow the organization to shift from one sequence where we insert instruction into a script to the next sequence where we follow those same instructions all the way to still another sequence. Actually, if the study of organization has been submitted to such a radical change in recent time, as the presence today of many of you show, it's precisely because the attention has shifted from general argument about institution as superorganism or individual, endowed with bounded rationality, to the practical tools allowing for those bizarre sequences of trajectory, stitching together a moment when actors are above and when actors are under script of many descriptions, and incarnated in many different materials. I'm thinking, of course, of a transformation of organization into writing devices, or the study of organizational speech and writing acts, or to the new attention to instruments, to accounting, to auditing, or again to the social study of finance. In that sense, it has become clear from all those studies, that is, your studies, that we are never in an organization, no matter how gigantic it is. Rather, organizational script circulates through a set of actors that are either attributed some task or are in a momentary state of crisis to re-instruct the script with new instruction for themselves and others. It's only once organizational theory has been thoroughly de-sociologized, if you accept the positive sense of this word, slightly paradoxical, I agree, especially from a professor of sociology, that the specificity of organization has begun to shine through. If IBM were to be considered as somehow bigger than its constituents, Jim Tyler's and François Couron's work on how to achieve bigness by speaking in a certain way will only deal with superficial and completely trivial features of institutions. Same thing with Paolo Quattrone and Chris McLean's careful study of accounting instruments. If the organization were already big and already overarching, there would be no function whatever for all those trivial tools. Same thing again with Barbara Czarniawska's use of narrative. What would be the use of narrating an institution if it was already there? And the same could be said of all the other discovery made recently about the technologies of management. It's because organizations are never big and that no one lives in them that the organizational work relies so much on the flip-flopping circulation of so many of those humble tools. The secular study of organization has really advanced once the phantasmagoria of size has been put aside. And this is why it has been from the start a tenet of actor network theory, that scaling is in the hands of the actors themselves. This is now so well known that in order to conclude this lecture and to respect the script under which my chairman and I are still living, so as to avoid receiving a string of more and more comminatory slips of paper, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, stop, dismissed. I want to shift your attention to another feature that might not have been highlighted so well. That is the subtle but essential difference between talking about an organization and talking in an organizational way, or even better, as an organizer.